Good day, good day, good day. And I forgot to show you yesterday one of the other items that I received as a gift from the estate of Father Peter Shorten, Bishop Father Peter Shorten, which is this beautiful Our Lady of Guadalupe chasuble, and it's a complete set actually. So the stole, chasuble, and there's also the corporal and the chalice veil. And so I thought that was really, really beautiful. I was very excited to receive that, and I'll put that here for now. And then I'm going to have it dry cleaned, and we'll use it on special occasions. It's getting very, yes, I thought, CJ, that's what I was thinking of you when I saw it. Good day, Maria. Good afternoon. And welcome, everybody. Thank you, CJ, for your donation, and Sister Jeannie for yours. I really, really, really appreciate it. We decided, oh my goodness, if I left those there, I never would have been able to see what I was doing. We decided yesterday, the family, to head to Florida in a couple of weeks to spend some time there and visit relatives, my daughter. And so again, if you remember last year, we had that interesting time of Mass outside with the wind and the et cetera, et cetera. So I think our camper is in a different location this year. Same farm, but maybe different location. So I really do look forward to going there and testing out my my older, but still my young adult sons to see how they handle the household while we're gone. Let's say an Ave for that. Thank you so much for all of the new subscribers. I mean, they just keep coming in, almost one a day. And welcome, Rob Stanton. And I'm sorry that I missed some of the other ones, the names, but please be assured to you are welcome. Also, don't be shy about trying to get in touch with me. However, I did want to mention that the volume is getting a little bit higher than I anticipated anyway of people. So it takes me a little bit longer to get back to you, especially when there's family time, events, etc. But again, thanks for the new subscribers. Oh, and I must mention, because we do get new subscribers and then they go to the website and then they're like not too sure. So please discern, that is what we are, OurLadyIsGod.com. Okay, this is a huge step for many. It seems the younger people have an easier time understanding and grasping this, which is wonderful. And it's odd, right? The younger people don't get what's public and mainstream, but yet they come here and it's like, whew. And the older people who have been, traditionally programmed into that certain way, it's like a grieving process. It's like a dying process. You have to have courage and fortitude, which I'm going to talk about today, to be able to admit that maybe you were deceived. Okay, that's a really hard step to take, and it's a pride issue, really, when you think about it, because it's like, I couldn't be wrong for so many years. But you have to be easier on yourself because you were deceived intentionally, and those who were doing the deceiving will spend a lower time and more time in the afterlife, put it that way. And if they make it to purgatory, they'll spend a long time in purgatory, because the intentional deception and the loss of souls as a result is tremendous. And that's why priests are held to such a high standard, because they are responsible for the care of others' souls. So please, I'm praying, I'm not doing the triangle thing, okay? Please help me to get to heaven by your prayers, and by letting me know when I have something incorrect or wrong. But, don't throw the stuff at me that we've already discerned. Okay, enough chitty-chatty. Let's get to morning prayers and continue our lesson. Now we're going to talk about those heroic moral virtues again. I'm pounding the virtues. In nomine Dei Matronum Nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. And I haven't forgotten the video that I want to do on an actual practical Catholic contemplation session. I want to make sure that the timing is right and everything is set for that. Let us place ourselves in the presence of God, and in Catholic contemplation humbly adore the Trinitarian Theophany. Most holy and venerable Trinity, one God and three divine beings, I believe that thou art here present. I venerate thee with the deepest humility. I render to thee with my whole heart the homage which is due to thee. O God, relying on thy infinite goodness and promises, I hope to obtain pardon of my sins, the help of thy grace, and life everlasting, through the merits of the Trinitarian Theophany. O God, I love thee above all things with my whole heart and soul, because thou art all good and worthy of all love. I love my neighbor as myself for love of thee, and I forgive all who have injured me, and ask pardon of all whom I have injured. I just wanted to mention again, there was a tremendous heroic act of charity by Mike, who spent hours, I know, putting together the Mass booklet, the in Latin and in English, with the rubrics to follow along, the responses. And I just got the first, or his final version. We're going to look it over and make sure that it's good. And we should have that out to you soon too, so that you can print it in a booklet form or in a page form, however you like to do it. If you can't do that, let me know. We'll work it out. We'll get it set up to you. We'll mail one to you, something like that. I would love to have it in a size like this, which can be done. Anything can be done with God. Let us thank God. So that was Mike Lineweber and the Lineweber family. Thank you. Very gracious. Your graces are already coming. Let us thank God for the many graces that we receive and offer ourselves and our sufferings up to the Trinitarian Theophany. O God, I most humbly thank thee for all the favors thou hast bestowed upon me to the present moment. It is again thanks to thy bounty that I should live to see this day, and I desire to employ it solely in thy service. I consecrate to thee all my thoughts, words, actions, and sufferings of this day. Sanctify them, O God, that there may be none that is not animated by thy love, or that would not tend to thy greater glory. I made another post this morning on fortitude. I highly recommend you read it, share it, and get it out there. I think I'm going to start a new series called Hey Catholics, with an exclamation point. Let's get going. The time is now. Let us make a firm resolution to avoid evil and to do good. And let us beg of God the graces which are necessary to us. O God, thou knowest my weakness, and that I am unable to do anything good without the help of thy grace. Deny me not thy grace, O God, proportionate to my necessity. Give me strength to avoid everything which thou forbiddest, to practice the good which thou hast commanded, and enable me patiently to bear all the trials which it may please thee to send me. O God, Our Lady, O Holy Mother of God, I place myself under thy protection. I throw myself with confidence into the arms of thy compassion. Be to me, O Mother of Mercy, my refuge in distress, my consolation in suffering, now and at the hour of my death. O my God, I am heartily sorry for having offended thee, and I detest all my sins, because I dread the loss of heaven and the pains of hell, but most of all because I have offended thee, my God, O good and deserving of all my love. I firmly resolve, with the help of thy grace, to confess my sins, to do penance, and to amend my life. The heroic degree of the Catholic moral virtues. Since we cannot discuss here the heroic degree of each of the moral virtues in particular, we shall draw the inspiration for our selection, especially from Deum Jesum Christum. Take up my yoke upon you and learn of me, because I am meek and humble of heart. We shall consider first the heroic degree of humility and meekness. These virtues give the Catholic tone we need to treat next of the heroic degree of fortitude, prudence, justice, and other virtues corresponding to the three evangelical counsels. Okay, subchapter. Heroic humility and meekness. Humility, which represses inordinate love of our own excellence, leads us to abase ourselves before the majesty of God and before what is of God in every creature. This virtue is heroic when it reaches the higher degrees described by St. Anselm and recalled by St. Thomas. Quote, the third and fourth degrees regard the avowal of one's own deficiency, namely that not merely one simply assert one's failing, but that one convince another of it. The other three degrees have to do with the appetite, which seeks not outward excellence, but outward abasement, or bears it with equanimity, whether it consist of words or deeds. We should especially be humble toward those who make us suffer, and this belongs to the fifth and sixth degrees, or the appetite may even go so far as lovingly to embrace external abasement. In order to be configured to Deum Jesum Christum for love of our salvation, willed the final humiliations of the Passion. Heroic humility led St. Peter to wish to be crucified head down. It led St. Benedict Joseph Labre to rejoice in the worst treatment and to find therein a holy joy. Perfect humility is manifested outwardly by a great habitual modesty. We read, quote, a man is known by his look, and a wise man is known by his countenance. The attire of the body and the laughter of the teeth and the gait of the man show what he is. It appears on a calm, humble countenance, little inclined to laughter, in a grave, simple, unaffected bearing, which shows that a man lives in the presence of God and does not interrupt his intimate conversation with God. Thus, the truly humble and modest man speaks of God by his conduct and even by his silence. Heroic humility is accompanied by meekness in a proportionate degree. By this virtue, man attains to complete self-mastery, to perfect domination of anger, when he does not return evil for evil, but triumphs over it by goodness. The higher degrees of meekness consist in not being disturbed under injury, in experiencing a holy joy at the thought of the higher good it procures for one, and lastly, in having compassion on the person who inflicts an injury, in suffering from the evil which it may cause him. Thus, Deum Jesum Christum wept over Jerusalem, following its ingratitude. He was more sad over the wretchedness of the ungrateful city than over the cruel death he was about to undergo. The heroic meekness of Deum Jesum Christum is manifested especially by his prayer for his executioners. Subchapter 2, Heroic Fortitude and Magnanimity. Okay, you're going to need your dictionaries on this one, especially since we're not from the 1800s and they were a lot smarter back then. In the perfect soul, humility and meekness are accompanied by virtues contrary in appearance, but in reality complementary. Fortitude and magnanimity. They are like the two opposite sides of a pointed arch supporting each other. Fortitude is the moral virtue which strengthens the soul in the pursuit of the difficult good, so that it does not allow itself to be shaken by the greatest obstacles. It should dominate the fear of danger, fatigue, criticism, all that would paralyze our efforts toward the good. It prevents man from capitulating in a cowardly manner when he should fight. It also moderates audacity and untimely exaltation, which would drive him to temerity. Fortitude has two principal acts: to undertake courageously and to endure difficult things. The Catholic should endure them for the love of God. It is more difficult to endure for a long time than in a moment of enthusiasm. To undertake courageously something difficult. Fortitude is accompanied by patience to endure the sorrows of life without being disturbed and without murmuring. By longanimity, which endures trials for a long time, and by constancy in good, which is opposed to obduracy in evil. To the virtue of fortitude is also linked that of magnanimity, which leads to the lofty practice of all the virtues, avoiding pusillanimity and effeminacy, but without falling into presumption, vainglory, or ambition. The gift of fortitude adds a superior perfection to the virtue of fortitude. It disposes us to receive the special inspirations of Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, which are given to sustain our courage in the presence of danger, and to drive out worry over not being able to accomplish a great duty or to endure trials. This gift makes us preserve, in spite of everything, hunger and thirst after the justice of God. The heroic degree of the virtue of fortitude appears especially in martyrdom, undergone to give testimony to a truth of faith or to the grandeur of a Catholic virtue. Outside of martyrdom, the virtue of fortitude, the gift of fortitude, patience, and magnanimity intervene each time that something heroic is to be accomplished or a great trial to be borne. Catholic fortitude differs from Stoic fortitude inasmuch as it is accompanied by humility, meekness, and great simplicity. Simplicity is heroic when it has such love of truth that it excludes absolutely all duplicity, every slightest lie, all simulation, every equivocation. It does not, however, lead a man to tell his every thought and feeling, and it knows very well how to keep a secret. We'll end for today. Tomorrow we will talk about heroic prudence, and let's see how long that one is. Yes, we'll do heroic prudence and heroic justice. prudence and justice. And by the way, Bishop Father Shorten was wearing that chasuble when he consecrated me as bishop. Deum vobiscum, quoque apote. Oremus. O God, the Creator and Redeemer of all the faithful, grant to the souls of thy servants and handmaids the remission of all their sins, that they may obtain by loving prayers the forgiveness which they have always desired, who livest and reignest with thee, one God, forever and ever. Suscipe Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum hancam accalatum hostium, quam ego indi neus famalos tuos offerit tibi Deum eum vivum et verum, pro enim medibidibus peccatis et offensionibus, et negligentis meis, et pro omnibus circumstantibus, sed pro omnibus fidelibus catalocorum vivis aquae defunctis, ut mihi et illis proficiat salutem. Deum qui humani substantia dignitatem mirabilito condidisi et mirabilis reformastu da nobis per hus accorde filimistimum, eis divinitatis esse consortes qui militatis nostrae, fieri dinotis es patriceps Deum Iesum Christum Filium, qui tegum vivit et reinat in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Offerimus tibi Deum calicem, salutaris tuum de peccantis clementium, ut in aspecto divinae majestatis tuae pro nostra, et otius mundi salute cum adore suavitatis ascendat. In spiritu humiditatis et in animo contrito suscipiamur te Deum Iesum Christum, et sequiet sacrificium nostrum in conspectu tu hodie, ut placeat tibi Deum matronam nostra et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Veni sanctificator, Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, et benedicit oblata prosequendo et accepere hoc sacrificium tuo sancto nomini preparatum. Suscipe Sancta Trinitas, sanct oblationem quam tibi offerimus, a memoriam passiones, resurrectionis et ascensionis Deum Iesum Christum, et in honorem Deum matronam nostrae et a Papa Pete Sanctorum, et istorum et omnium Sanctorum, ut illis proficiat ad honorem nobis autem et salutem, et illi pro nobis intercedere, et in intercelis, quorum amorem agimus in telis per indum Christum Deum nostrum. Orate, ut me mec vestrum sacrificium acceptabile fiat ab Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Suscipiat Deum Iesum Christum sacrificium de manibus tuis, ad laudam et gloriam nominis sui, ad utilitatem quoque nostram, totiusque ecclesiae suae sanctae. Deum vobiscum, quoque apud surusum corda habemus ad Deum. Gratias agamus Deum nostrum, dignum et justum est. Te igido glorimitissimi Mater Pater, Deum Matram Nostra et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per Deum Iesum Christum Filium Tuum Deum Nostro, supplices oramus ac petimus, ut iceptebe esse benedicas ex sanctam sacrificium mirivata. In primis quae tibi afferimus pro ecclesiam tuum sanctam catholicam, quam pacificare custodire ad honore et regere digneris toto pietarum atque catholicae. Memento Deum famulorum famulumque tuorum. We pray for the sick and the suffering. We pray for the intention listed on the first page, the info page of OurLadiesGod.com by Peter. We pray for Katie Gage, Robert Charles Dosco, Neil and Earl Lively. We pray for Ruth, Maria Josephina Mose, Henry, Barbara, Benedict, Malachi Santa Croce, Casey and Mark Jr., the Cantu and Duarte families, Mr. Nobody, Jenalina, Lori, Aaron and family, Maria and the Lineweber family, John K. Hill, the Dasco Nye, Tafur, Began, and Wolf families, and Alex Tafur. We pray for Mr. Nobody to receive the funding and strength needed to complete the first Sedevacantist Catholic Council office in Monastery of Illinois. We pray for an end to all governmental allowance or sanctioning of abortion, transgenderism, transhumanism, child trafficking of any kind, child abuse of any kind, anywhere, place, or time. We pray for the establishment of a Catholic monarchy with a sound Catholic system of labor, human value, medium of exchange, all based on Catholic virtues. We pray for courageous men to step forward as leaders of this Catholic society and to join the guardians of the Trinitarian Theophany and adhere to the virtues. We ask all these other intentions to be granted according to God's holy and divine will. And we pray for Father Warren and Father Finch, that they might come to understand the truths, the facts that we have at OurLadiesGod.com. Et omnium circumstantium quorum tibi fidis cognita est et nota devotio, pro quibus tibi afferimus, vero qui tibi frontox sacraficium laudis, pro se suisque omnibus, pro redemptione animarum suarum, pro spe salutis et egulamitatis sue, tibi quidem vota sua aeterna Deum vivo et vero. Communicantes et momone venerantes in primis, gloriose semper Deum Matram Nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Beatorum Martyrium Torum, Papa Sancta Petri et Sancta Lucia, et Sancta Jacinta, et Sancta Francisco, et Sancta Juan Diego, et omnium sanctorum tuorum quorum meditis precibusque concedas, ut in omnibus protectionis tuae monum et exilio periendum Christum Deum nostrum. Quam oblationem te Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum in omnibus consecratum acceptabilem quae dignitis ut nobis corpum, et sanguinem fiat didictissimi filium tuum Deum Iesum Christum, qui pridie quam pateretur recepit panem in sancta sacraris manus suas, et derivatis oculatis in caelum ad Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum suum omnipotentem tibi gratias agens, consecravit, frege didique lumis sui dicens, accipite et mandacate ex hoc omnes. Hoc est enim corpus meum. Simili modo postquam ceremoniae secipiens et hum precalum caricem in sancta sacramentis manus suas, item tibi gratias agens Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, consecravit didique lumis sui dicens, accipite et vivite ex eo omnes. Hic est enim calix sanguinis mei, mysterium fidei, que pro nobis et pro multis effundetur in remissionem peccatorum, equat est cum profetitis memum facietis. Unde et memores Deum nos servitui, sed plebs tua sancta iustum Christum filium tuum, Deum nostre, tam beate passionis nec non et in fedis resurrectionis, sed et in celos gloriosi ascensionis, afferimus preclare maestati tuidi tuis donis actatis, supra quae perpetua axare novutur spiciedi digneris. Supplicis te ragamus Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, iube hic perfere per manus tuum, ut quod, ex hoc cataris participationem sacrosanctum Deum Filium Tuum, corpus et sanguinem subsenimus, omni benedictione celesti et gratia repeamur, per indum Christum Deum Nostrae. We pray for those who have died. We especially pray for Mary Andres, for whom this Mass is being offered. ipsis Deum, et omnibum in Christum crescentibum, locum refugirii lucis et pacis, ut indulge est precamor, per endum Christum Deum nostrum. Per quem haec omnia Deum Iesum Christum semper bona creas, sanctificas, vivificas, benedictis te prestas nobis. Per ipsum et cum ipso et in ipso, est ibi Deum Matrum omnipotente in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Omnis honor et gloria. Ave Dea Matronam Nostrae, gratia plena Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum tecum. Dea Matronam Nostrae, Matram Deum Iesum Christum, misericordia nobis, peccatoribus nunc et in hora mortis nostrae. Libera nos quae sumus Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, ab omnibus malis praeteritis presentibus et futuris, et intercedente beata et gloriosa semper Dei Matronam Nostrae, cum Papa Petrum Sanctorum et omnibus sanctis da propitius pacem in diebus nostris. Ut ope misericordiae Tui aduiti te peccato, simus semper liberi et ab omni perturbatione securi. Per iendum Deum nostrum Iesum Christum Filium Tuum Deum nostrum, qui ticum vivet et reinat in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per aeternam. Pax Deum Iesum Christum sit semper vobiscum et quoque apud te. Ecce extio consecratio copris et sanguinis Deum Iesum Christum fiat recipientibus nobis in ad salutem aeternam. Pax tecum et quoque apud te. Deum Iesum Christum, qui ex voluntate Deum Matronam Nostrae, cooperante Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per mortem Tuam unum vivificasti, libera me per hoc sacrosanctum corpus et sanguinum Tuum omnibus iniquitatibus meis, et universis malis et fac me Tui semper inhadare mandatis, et atenum quam separare permittas, qui cum eo dem Deum Matronam Nostrae et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum vivis serenam aeternam. Per Chpter corporis Tui Deum Iesum Christum, quod ego indinius sum repressimo, non mihi proveniat in edicima condemnationem, sed pro Tua pietate prosit mihi ad tutum mentis corporis, et ad me Deum principiandum qui vivis serenas, cum Deum Matronam Nostrae in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Panem celestum accipiem et nomen Deum Iesum Christum invocabo. Deum Matronam Nostrae non sunt dignis, ut intus et meis in tantum verba sabatur nomen meam. Deum Iesum Christum non sunt dignis, ut intus et meum, sed tantum verba sabatur nomen meam. Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum non sunt dignis, ut interceptet meum, sed tantum verba sabatur nomen meam. Corpus Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet anima meam. Quid retribundum Deum Iesum Christum per omnibus queritur mihi, calicem saetatis accipiem in nomen Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum invocabo. Laudans invocabo Deum Matronam Nostrae et ab inimicis meis ab vocero. Sanguis Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet anima meam. Codorisum simus Deum Iesum Christum purimet capiamis et immunere temperae fit nobis remedium sempiternam. Corpus tuum Deum Iesum Christum quod sum sanguis competare per efficieribus meis presta, ut in me non remediat scelera macula quem pura sancta reficiera sacramenta. Deum vobiscum, et quoque apote, oremus. May the prayer of thy suppliants profit the souls of thy servants and handmaids, we beseech thee, O God, that thou mayest free them from all sins and make them sharers in thy redemption, who livest and reignest with thee, one God, forever and ever. Deum vobiscum, et quoque apote, ite mise est, Deum gratia. Placia tibi sancta Trinitam obsequium servitutis mea presta ut sacrificium cor oculis tuae maestatis in unus opteri tibi sertataure miquet omnibus, pro quibus irut optulis iti miserante propitiabile per Christum Deum nostrum. Benedicat vos omnipotens Deum, Matronam et Filium et Spiritum Sanctum, Deum Matronam nostre et Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Gratias. O God, I believe, I venerate, I hope, and I love thee. I beg of thee pardon for those who do not believe, do not venerate, do not hope, and do not love thee. Most holy Trinitarian Theophany, I venerate thee profoundly, and I offer to thee the most precious body, blood, soul, and divinity of God Jesus Christ, who was, is, and ever shall be, present here in reparation for the outrages, sacrileges, and indifference by which he himself is offended, and through the infinite merits of his most sacred heart and the immaculate heart of God our Lady, who was, is, and ever shall be, I beg of thee the conversion of poor sinners. In nomine Deum Matronam Nostrae, Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Gratias. Thank you again for attending and for assisting, and we'll see you tomorrow. Please sanctify all those who you meet. And by the way, today is Tuesday, January 2nd, 2024. Take care.